Hi everybody, this is Dwayne with Lilleys Landing Resort Marina. I know it's July 1st, but I'm not sure what day of the week it is. I'm thinking Wednesday. I am correct. It is Wednesday, July the 1st. And we're up in the trophy area. It's about, almost 5 o'clock in the PM-ish. They're running 4 units of water. We had some storms come through this morning. They've pretty much gone away. That sun is starting to come out, and it's getting pretty sticky and hot out here. We're going to try dragging some little crankbaits that we've got in the shop. We've got quite the selection of them. I brought a few of them with me, and they're kind of deeper divers, almost like a flicker shad kind of a style. We got some really cool colors, and we're going to give them a try, see what happens up here. I have got a few reports from fishing today. Most people had to work for them. A couple of good reports from down power lines above Monkey Island through the bridges. But I did just see about an hour or two ago the Conservation Department stocking boat, the big barge, came up and dropped a bunch of fish right below the resort. So there's some hot fish to play with there. I do want to mention that if you don't have any plans for 4th of July weekend or next week, we have had some last-minute openings at the resort. If you're interested, we'd love to have you come see us. And they're the bigger units, but if you've got a smaller party, we'll be willing to make a deal. So call us up, come see us. Spend the 4th of July down here or the week after the 4th of July. It's very rare that we get some openings this time of year. So I've got on an 1/8 ounce weight with that lure, and that should be taking it down to the bottom. That lure is pretty buoyant, so it might take it a while to get down there. But once it gets down there, and there it just ticked the bottom, that current should be a little faster on the bottom than it is on top. I'm going to kind of get us over here in the where the heavy current is, and we're just going to drag this down through here. Really have no idea how this is going to work. We're just trying it out right now. That lure has almost got a big enough bill that you could almost drag it like a bomber under the right conditions. Well, we got a pretty heavy flow, and I don't know if it will get 12, 14 feet deep down without a little bit of weight, but I am dragging the bottom just a little bit right now. I've brought 2 rods with me that are rigged with these. I hear the night fishing is still pretty good. And what I mean by night fishing is coming up here before it gets dark, before the sun sets. And it seems like as soon as that sun just goes over the horizon, but not quite dark out, the fish come up to the top and start looking up, and really have been hitting these shallow jerk baits pretty good. And you typically don't have to work them very much at night. You just basically what I call a dead drift, just cast it out there downstream of the boat, kind of hold your boat in place and let it just kind of swing back behind the boat some. We had quite a few boat rentals this morning. There was, I think, only 5 on the books. Well, we had a whole bunch of walk-ins come in, and a lot of them came back early when them storms started happening, but the storms are gone now, so we've had quite a few more boats go back out again. So there's quite a few people out here for a Wednesday. During the day, and you're dragging these little crankbaits and things like this on a drift rig, it doesn't hurt to pop them around a little bit, give them a little extra movement. Sometimes that's just enough to trigger a fish to strike it. I have heard that dragging the Cerise San Juan worm from this area down through the Narrows is still catching a few fish. I had a morning jerkbait fishing trip yesterday, and before the sun came up, we caught a couple doing that method I was just talking about, swinging a shallow or a jerkbait just behind the boat. But then we really had to work for them. I think we only boated 4 fish on the jerkbaits yesterday morning, which is kind of a tough morning. I saw that some fireworks stands have popped up over the last few days. I think in Branson, July 3rd and 4th, you're allowed to set off fireworks. You got a small window of opportunity to have fun and hopefully not blow any fingers off. Just be safe if you partake in that kind of stuff. It's not as dry this year as it has been in the past, so that shouldn't be quite as much of a concern of setting a field or something on fire. I've got 2 of these rods. I'm debating on whether I should put both of them out at the same time. There are a couple of snags through here, so I wouldn't be surprised to lose a lure or 2 every now and then. Going by the golf course right now, they got the fans blowing up there. Sounds like a jet engine. It's kind of a relaxing way to fish. Just floating down the river. Don't forget to look behind you every now and then. Make sure you've got a safe zone to float through. And I don't think I am quite in the old river channel. I think I'm just on the top side of the gravel bar, and the river channel is just right here. So I might try and scoot us over just a little bit and get us in some deeper water. About, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago, when I first started messing with the jerk baits, the Megabass 110+1s, in middle of July, they were in a pattern of either the water being off or 1 unit running in the mornings, and then in the middle of the day, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they would jump it up to 4 units, kind of like they are right now. And I started finding a lot of good fish up here in the trophy area, especially up from the cable down to just past the boat ramp on that north side, the hatchery side. In that 4 units of water, those fish would be within a foot of that bank there. And I had a lot of fun in the afternoons throwing a jerkbait doing that. I need to come back out. We're kind of in that same pattern. I need to come back out in the afternoon and give that a try. I've got 2 units running all morning, and then they crank it up to 4. That would be enough to push them fish out of the middle of the lake and kind of seek shelter in them banks, looking for eddies. that almost got me excited. That felt like a little bit of a tug. I think we're starting to, well, no, it's not really shallowing out. Well, that felt like a fish. That might have been a fish messing with me. There's bottom. Wiggle that thing around a little bit. I probably need to bring it in, oh, probably about now, and check it for moss. So I want to make sure I'm clean coming through the narrows here. So officially nothing on the one cast. That was a long one cast. And my lure was going backwards the whole time. No wonder it took so long to get down. All right, so to prevent that, when you cast out, I'm going to try it this time. Just before your line hits the water, I'm going to try and grab it and just slow it down to kind of straighten everything out. Kind of like you're rolling a fly over with some fly line. So there it goes. I'm going to start slowing it down, and hopefully it did not get tangled there. No moss was on it though. A little more line out. I'm going to try and back us up some, just a little bit. And there's bottom. So that took it quite a while to get down there. There's Tony. Lilley. He's hard at it today. He had a trip this morning and he's on a second one now. Okay, here we come into the narrows. This is where I'm always hopeful. That water is really cooking back behind the Eagle Island. That's a real nice shoot. Probably be fun to boat up in there, beach the boat, walk up in there and do a little jig fishing in that moving water. Right, it is going right down the channel of the Narrows. Looks like it's getting just a little bit of bottom action through there, not much. bottom tick. Lots of boats coming up through here. Well, I think if I had to do this again, I would probably go to a 3/16 ounce weight. And that lure is pretty big and pretty buoyant, and I'm just not ticking the bottom as much as I would like to be. I unfortunately only brought an 1/8 ounce weight with me. But I think I would try that again with a 3/16, just get a little more bottom action. But that bait should catch some fish if the conditions are right. Just touching that bottom every now and then. It's supposed to be in the 90s again tomorrow. Not quite clear skies, just kind of a thin cloud cover out there. But I'm starting to feel that sun, and it's starting to get a little sticky. There's some more bottom again. One of our pontoon boats is going by right now, out for a nice joyride, and that is a fish, and he is pretty big, I think. So we're going to start chasing him. He is really taking a lot of line. No, he may have wrapped me on something. I'm gonna come back here to the big motor before I run out of line. All right. I had a fish to start with, but now it kind of feels like I got a little bit of a log. A little more speed here. There we go. Gonna make some ground now. And now I can use the trolling motor to help control it. Let's just go up and see what this is. It might be a log now. It felt like a fish at first. I'm using one of our rental rods. So it doesn't have an extremely good drag system on it. I did check the drag before I started. But I almost ran that thing out of line. It's not swimming sideways or anything, so I'm pretty sure it's a log or a rock now, or fishing line or something. When it first hit, it hit hard, then had some give, and then it was just solid. There's usually not too many logs in this area here, though. It could be a rock. There's my weight, way up here. Yeah, it's not swimming sideways any. Way up here. And there's my lure. It's on some fishing line. That's what I felt. There's the lure right there. All right, so it did hit something and then moved and then got into that fishing line. So that's what fooled me. But at least we know now. We're not going to say it was the big one that got away. I'm going to try and pull all that extra fishing line in. And there we go. All right. That was exciting for just a little bit. And I think I'm going to call it an episode after that. We thank you all for watching, and we'll try it again tomorrow.